Okay, so let's talk about something that's absolutely vital for any workplace that wants to succeed today: ADHD. But we're not going to talk about it in the old way as some kind of deficit. No, we're going to reframe it for what it is: a unique way of thinking that, when you understand it and support it, can be a massive asset for any team. This quote, wow, it just gets right to the heart of what it feels like from the inside. It's not about not wanting to succeed. It's not about a lack of effort. It's about this painful, frustrating gap between what you intend to do and what actually happens. And really getting that, that's the first step for everybody. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to completely rethink the ADHD brain. Then, we'll make a really critical shift in how we think about it, moving from willpower to environment. After that, we dive into the practical stuff: a playbook for managers, a toolkit for employees, and then how we build that bridge between the two. And we'll wrap up by talking about how to unlock some incredible superpowers. All right, first things first, and this is the foundation for everything else. We have to get this right. ADHD isn't about someone's personality. It's not about them being lazy, and it is absolutely not a character flaw. It is a real, documented neurological difference in the brain's wiring, period. So, the fancy clinical term for what's going on is executive function dysregulation. But what does that even mean? Well, think of your executive functions as the CEO of your brain, or maybe the air traffic controller, right? It's the part right up in the prefrontal cortex that's supposed to manage, prioritize, and direct everything else. And for someone with ADHD, that management system just runs into some unique roadblocks. So let's break down what this actually looks like at work. You see task initiation here. That's the struggle to just start something. And it looks a heck of a lot like procrastination, but it's not. Or working memory. That's why someone might ask you to repeat instructions you just gave them. It's not that they weren't listening. The information literally vanished. And time perception. Yeah, that's a big one. It's why deadlines can feel kind of vague or just sneak up out of nowhere. And that brings us to the single most important shift in thinking in this entire explainer. We have got to stop looking at ADHD as a willpower problem. It's not. It's an environment problem. It's a mismatch between a person's brain and the setting they're in. It isn't about trying harder. It's about creating a smarter context to work in. So let's just bust some of these myths right now. When you see what looks like a lack of motivation, I want you to ask yourself, could it be that impaired time perception is making that future deadline feel, well, not real? And what we often label as laziness or carelessness, it's almost always a working memory overload. The brain's hard drive is just full. This story just nails the point perfectly. There was this employee who got up from her desk to grab a coffee. She got distracted for a second and then completely forgot what she was working on back at her desk. Now, to an outsider, that might look like slacking off, but it wasn't a choice. It was a working memory glitch in an environment that didn't have the right cues to get her back on track. Okay, managers, this part is for you. Your job here isn't to fix your employee. Your job is to be an architect. You get to design an environment where their brain can fire on all cylinders. And trust me, this is where you can make a huge, huge difference. Let's look at some simple but really powerful swaps. Instead of nagging about a deadline, which we know doesn't work, sit down with them and break the project into tiny, manageable steps. Instead of just giving verbal instructions that can disappear into thin air, follow up with a quick email or chat message. And this last one, it's so important. Look past the mistake to the positive intention behind it. That builds trust and kills the shame that is so toxic to productivity. And look, none of this has to be complicated or expensive. We're talking about smart, simple adjustments. Noise-canceling headphones can be a lifesaver. A shared to-do list makes priorities clear for everyone. And please, just get this one thing. Tough love, shaming, making people feel guilty, those are not strategies. They are actively harmful, and they have no place in a healthy workplace. Okay, let's flip the script now. If you're an employee with ADHD, this is about empowerment. It's about building your own personal toolkit to manage your work and, just as importantly, learning how to ask for what you need so you can really shine. I love this quote because it's the whole philosophy right here. Your brain is an amazing idea machine, a super powerful processor, but its storage capacity, especially that working memory, is limited. So the whole game is to offload the storage part to outside systems so you can free up all that incredible brain power for the fun stuff, like solving problems and being creative. You can think of it as building a prosthetic brain, a set of external supports you create for yourself. Rule number 1, externalize everything. don't trust your brain to remember it. Write it down. Put it in an app. Rule 2, break it down. That huge, scary project, what is the absolute smallest first step? Just do that. And then you can use little tricks like habit stacking to build routines and be ruthless about managing your environment to shut out distractions. But of course, none of this works in a vacuum, right? A manager can have a great playbook, an employee can have a great toolkit, but the magic happens when you bring them together. The real key to success is building a bridge with open, collaborative, non-judgmental communication. And this is the big one. This is the question that stops so many amazing people from getting the support they need. You're afraid of being seen as lazy or making excuses or asking for special treatment. I get it, but there is absolutely a way to have this conversation that is professional, proactive, and all about finding a solution. Here you go, a simple 3-step script you can literally use. Step 1, state the challenge, but do it objectively. Talk about the work, not about you. Step 2, propose a specific, concrete solution. Don't just show up with a problem, show up with an idea. And step 3, this is the most important. Frame it as a win-win. This isn't just for you, this is going to help the team meet its goals. And I want you to remember this. Your goal here is to create a partnership, not to ask for permission. You're not trying to get an excuse to do less. You are proactively bringing a strategy to the table to help you deliver your absolute best work. And what manager doesn't want that? So let's bring this all home by focusing on the incredible upside. Because when you get the environment right, when you build that partnership, you don't just manage a challenge. You unleash a set of legitimate superpowers. And what are these gifts? Well, a lot of them are the flip side of the challenges. You know that distractibility? When an ADHD brain locks on to something it's interested in, that's called hyperfocus. It's a relentless, world-class problem-solving machine. It leads to incredible creativity, intense loyalty, and yeah, usually a pretty fantastic sense of humor. These are major assets to any team. And that's really the bottom line here. When we shift our thinking from willpower to environment, and when managers and employees work together as partners, you're not just putting a Band-Aid on a problem. You are unlocking a massive asset, a real competitive advantage for your team. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Whether you're a manager or you're an employee, just look around your team. With a few simple shifts in how you see things and how you work together, what incredible potential is just sitting there waiting to be unlocked?